that was Pokarekare, a traditional Maori song which is attributed to POA Henry Tomoana. The piece we're playing here is arranged by Alan Bullard. This is the B3 piece of the ABRSM Grade 3 Flute Exam Pieces from 2022. Taking a look at the start of the piece, we are in 4/4 time, so we have 4 crotchets in a bar. We have 2 flats in the key signature, so we are in B flat major. We also have some accidentals towards the later half of the piece, which is the A flat and the F sharp. So going through the fingering of those first, we have the B flat, which is on the left hand thumb and first finger, on the right hand is first finger and pinky. They're the same fingering for both the B flats. For the E flats, we have 2 different fingerings. The middle E flat is everything on our right hand, and our left hand is thumb, third finger and fourth finger. The high E flat is everything on both hands. Then we have the A flat, which is everything on our left hand and just the pinky on the right. Then the F sharp, which is everything on our left but the pinky, and then on our right hand we have fourth finger and a pinky. For grade 3, you are required to know the B flat major up to a 12th, which is your high F. There is also a snippet of the F major in bar 26 as well, so it might be beneficial for you to learn that first. For grade 3, you should know 2 octaves, even though the scale in the piece is only the first octave. At the start of the piece, we can see that the speed we have written there is crotchets equals 104 beats per minute. Now the directions next to it is that we need to play with a deep emotion, and we also get lots of mentions of playing expressively and richly inside the piece as well. So here is the speed for 104. At the last line, we also see there is another speed which is crotchets equal 96. Now this is, the directions next to it is slower and reflectively, which is going to help because this is the last phrase and we do have a bridge towards the end as well. So here is 96. Now, at the top of the piece, we also see a mention of the swing rhythm, where a dotted quaver rhythm should be expressed in triplets, where the first note takes up the measure of the first 2, and the last note taking the last one. Now, already dotted quaver rhythms is quite similar to a swing rhythm. It's just slightly split more evenly between 3s instead of splitting it in 4s. What we do need to note here is that the straight quavers aren't going to be swung. They are just going to be played as straight quavers, so that's an important distinction, that we don't swing the normal quavers. Now, this piece doesn't have a form, it is through composed, although there are a couple of melodic ideas in this piece. The first one is the swing rhythm emphasis in bar 5 to 12. Then we have a rich sounding section in bar 13 to bar 20. After that, we have a section which have a lot of running notes in bar 21 to bar 28. And then finally we have a slower ending section from bar 29 towards the end. Let's first go over how triplet works. A triplet is when we play 3 notes evenly over the time period of the first 2 notes. So if we have a triplet in quavers, we are going to be playing them over a time of 2 quavers, which is a crotchet. And if we have a triplet in crotchets, then we'll be playing them over the time period of 2 crotchets, or minimum. So for the swing rhythm that we see in the first melody, we are going to be splitting a crotchet into 3 measures, playing the first note over the first 2, and the final note over the final measure. So here is the metronome going 104. What I'll be first doing is splitting them into triplets. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And with the swing rhythm, we are going to be counting the first 2 as our first note, and then the last triplet as our final note. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here is the rhythm of bar 5, clapping with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a quick demo for bar 5 to 6. We are in mezzo forte throughout this whole section, and we also have written expressively next to the MF. So we should try and put some dynamics within the phrases as well, trying to do a crescendo, just a small crescendo throughout each phrase. When we come into the piece, the piano is first going to play a 4-bar intro. Let's give it a listen first. We'll hear the piano bass line going in crotchets, bum 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 bum, and then the right hand you're going to hear a C, which is doing a swing rhythm just before we come in. So here is a demo of coming in with the piano, listening out for that bass line, bum 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 bum, which is a crotchet, which tells us we're going to come in the beat afterwards. The rhythm is pretty much the same throughout the rest of the section. In bar 9 we start off with a swing rhythm instead of a crotchet, and in bar 13 it is a semi-brief instead of 2 minims at the end. In bar 17 we get triplet crotchets, so we need to play these evenly in a time span of 2 crotchets. I'm going to be clapping in 2s and counting in triplets. So we're going to get 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You notice my first note is on the same time as my 1, my second note before my 2, and my third note after the 2. So here is a demo with the metronome on bar 17 and 18. One more time. Try and make them as even as you can. In bar 19 we have the return of the swing rhythm. It is still a swing rhythm even though we have a dotted quaver rest at the start. So here is a demo with the metronome, bar 19-20. The next melody has some tricky rhythm. We have a lot of different rhythmic ideas here, so let's first go through how we fit different rhythms into crotchets, as we're going to be switching between them quite regularly. So in one crotchet we can fit 2 quavers, 3 quaver triplets, and 4 semi-quavers. The rhythm in bar 22 and bar 24 transitions from quavers to triplets. So if we listen to the metronome, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going from triplets to quavers, back to triplets. Look out for bar 22 where we have a dotted crotchet as well. So here is a demo from bar 20 to bar 23. Similar sort of thing for bar 24 and 25. And then in bar 26 it goes from quavers to semi-quavers. So again with the metronome, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going quite fast with our semi-quavers here. The semi-quaver in here is essentially an F major scale, but starting on an E note and then ending on an F in bar 27. So with the metronome, bar 26 and 27. So the kind of speed we're going here is why it is useful to learn the scales beforehand so that you can get to those fingerings very easily, or easier rather. In bar 28 we have a minim and then triplet in crotchets. Now counting in here is exactly the same as what we have done in bar 17 before. We do have a lot of dynamics in this section. Most of them follow the shape of the music, so if we are going up the music then we are crescendoing, and if we're going down then we're decrescendoing. Except for bar 24, which goes down and then up, but then we are just doing a decrescendo throughout. So here's the demo from bar 21 to bar 28 with dynamics. Ending phrase we are playing slower here, crotchets equal 96 instead of 104. Still again with lots of dynamics, although we do have a poco written inside the hairpin, so we're only just doing a small crescendo and decrescendo. We can see the triplet rhythm as we have in bar 29, exactly the same as bar 18, except that we have a dotted crotchet rhythm instead of a minim in front of it. The apostrophe just before the quaver tells us that we can take a breath here after the long phrase from bar 27. The swing rhythm makes a comeback in bar 31 with exactly the same rhythm as bar 19. We see writ written on bar 32, which slows us down. And because we are doing 7 beats on this final note, we need to wait for the pianist to play the final chord, which will also last 3 beats. So here is a demo from bar 29. Well, that was the tutorial of the B3 piece, Pokarekare Anna, as arranged by Alan Bullard. This piece is more complicated than the other 2 pieces, but I also think it sounds the best. You get a wide range in this piece, not only in terms of notes, but also with the variety of rhythm and dynamics as well. It is a great piece to have fun with and show what you can do musically. Hopefully that was useful to you. I'll be putting up the rest of the pieces soon for grade 3. Check out the B pieces and A pieces that were already done, and the playlist for grade 3. Give a like and subscribe if you like what I did here. Put a comment down below if you want me to go for anything specific, or if you want to share your own tips and tricks with your fellow viewers. I'll see you in the next video on Master of None. Bye!